Welcome in, second cousins. The Orlando Magic defeat the Los Angeles Clippers 129-101. It is good to see you all here after another victory, and what a wonderful gift here for my birthday. Yes, it is the Red Lettuce's birthday, and I'm talking about myself in the third person. That is odd, but thank you for being here on this special day. If you haven't yet, please, a great birthday gift. Let me throw a little guilt in here early. Would be to subscribe. We're so close to 2,000 subscribers. If you've been enjoying the content and you appreciate it, hey, it's free for you and it means a lot to us. But let's get into this one. Magic get a couple wins in a row now. We're solidly climbing up the standings here. I believe now we're in 8th place, 7th place, something like that. Here we go. 9th place. Wow. Okay. A little off, but in the play-in. And it's really, it's tight, right? We're 5 games back of the number 1 seed Pistons and only 2 games back of the number 2 Raptors. So everyone from 1 all the way back to 10 is it's compact. So a week of games could make a huge difference. And the Orlando Magic are beginning to play some really complete basketball. Was this the best game? For me, it felt like the most complete game. I've been kind of waiting for the Orlando Magic to really put a team away, and that's what they did with the Clippers. Granted, it's the geriatric Clippers, right? Definitely performing under expectations, and they're kind of showing their age. Man, this team would have been nasty in like 2019, 2020. Woo! Damn. But really it was Jalen Suggs, who I have not given enough praise to. Just absolutely his best game of the season. He ends with 23 points, 3 boards, 7 assists, 2 steals, 2 blocks. He was doing his best James Harden impression with the step back threes. He hit one on James Harden himself, one on John Collins. He was hitting the catch and shoot threes. He goes 8 of 15 from the floor, 5 of 9 from beyond the arc. Just a tremendous game. And he always brings that stuff on the defensive side, right? With the steals and the blocks, just always getting after it. The amazing, diving steal, then he passes it off. He ends up with the ball again for an alley-oop for Goga. Timeout Clippers. This is getting out of hand, and it certainly was. Jalen Suggs was really the motor tonight, and just he deserves all of the flowers for this win. It was just tremendous. 7 assists, too. Definitely his best game as a floor general. He was passing more than Leo DiCaprio in his own age group on Tinder. Pass. Just really love what he's doing, facilitating. Sometimes he boils our blood a little bit with those flashy razzle-dazz passes that he tries, and they're not quite there, and it's a turnover. But that's part of the Jalen Suggs experience that we're going to have to kind of live with. He feeds off that energy, and when he connects on those big plays, it ignites not only his play all that much more, but the entire team, the arena. So it's okay. You're going to take some of those risks along the way. To my consternation at times, yes, but I think there's a risk reward there, and tonight we saw all of that reward as Jalen Suggs was on a heater. Man, this guy is really a difference maker. Go check out the last episode from Peach and I, episode 83. We talked about, who are the injured guys that we were most excited to have back between Suggs, Paolo, and Moritz. I know Suggs has been day-to-day, but we just did it for the segment. And for me, it was Suggs. Just because, of course I want Paolo. He's like one of our tentpole guys, one of our best scorers, and the guy who I probably want the ball in his hands at the end of the game. But, Jalen Suggs really is, and we saw it when he and Moritz went out, the lifeblood of the team, the heart of the team. And when he's not out there, it's a very different Orlando Magic. It just doesn't have that same juice, and we honestly will look like a shell of ourselves many times when he's not out there. So just great to see him back playing 26 minutes now. Those minutes keep creeping up. We do have a back-to-back this weekend with the Knicks and then the Celtics. So we're playing all those Northeast teams. I'm wondering, is he going to play in the back-to-back? Because that hasn't happened yet this season. Will he? Even just limited minutes, against the Celtics on Sunday. That would be interesting to see. I'm playing with the idea of going up to Boston. I'm a little under the weather, so I don't know if it will happen, but part of me saying maybe not spending the money and the time is like, well, if Jalen Suggs isn't there, I don't know. Is this? I want to see my boy number 4. Come on, AB. Let's go on to Anthony Black. I want to talk about a couple players, and then I'll get into kind of some larger picture things that Cedric and I teased last time we were with you. But Anthony Black, another awesome game from him. Again, he has always had that top-tier NBA skill in terms of his defense, and he was doing that. I mean, he had some awesome steals last night. Did he have 4 steals? Am I remembering that correct? Yeah, 4 steals. I mean, he was a menace on the defensive side of the ball, and he always brings that. So that's why he's been getting the playing time with Coach Mosley almost since day one. But 12 points, 4 of 9 from the field, not taking too many shots, got to the charity stripe, 3 or 4 from the foul line, 4 assists, and again, the 4 steals, 4 boards. Just, I thought, a really complete game from Anthony Black. We've had, I want to say, like, I'm ready for Anthony Black to ascend, to get to that next level, and it always kind of comes down to the consistency with young players. Can you do it on a night in, night out basis? What do you have? Last game, he had 21, right? That was a huge game, 8 of 13 from the field. And my pause there was just like, hey, is it going to be consistent? Are we going to see, because we've seen a 21-point outing, and then the next night is 4 points, or just like really not a factor. And even though like 12 points isn't crazy, he was definitely making his presence felt in this game. His fingerprint was all over this game in the way that he was attacking, both on offense and defense. So I just thought, I was very heartened to see him have another really good game. And I just want to keep that going, because I really do like AB. I want him as a part of this team long term. And that's just, what happened. That's what happened with Cole, right? And that's why we're sad that Cole isn't here, because he showed flashes and he got hot, but then there would be stretches of games where he really wouldn't be a factor. And so now Cole is on the Bucks, and I'm wishing him all the best, and I wish he was still with the Magic, but the fact of the matter remains that consistency was an issue. So with all of our young players, I am just hoping for that consistency. And AB took another step towards that tonight with another very solid performance. It's like, oh man, I used to love the Starters. Now I think they're No Dunks podcast. Those guys are hilarious. They're awesome. I definitely take some inspiration for our show from them in terms of being silly and being outrageous. And Lee Ellis, the Australian, he used to have his very solid play of the game. And man, Anthony Black, very solid player of the game. Just all around solid game from Anthony Black, and I was excited to see that. Man, I hope to see all of you down in Orlando with Peach, myself, and all the Court Cousins family for the 4th annual family reunion. We're doing it Thursday, February 5th. We've rented out one suite, and we sold, I think, 16 or 17 tickets to that one. And then we made the decision, all right, you know what? There's a lot of interest for this. We're going to rent the one next door and open it up. So I am kind of out there now. I'm a little over my skis. We've already sold 2 to that. But if you want to go, get your tickets now, because the tickets to the first suite went fast. It's only $100 to get into the suite. So if you're like me and you've never seen a game from that perspective, hey, do it today. Make sure you're in there. $100 for a suite game sounds pretty sweet to me. Where are we going next? We'll have to do Peach's plus-minus player of the game. And I mean, I could almost write this in pen before every game starts. Tristan da Silva, plus 20, 17 points, 7 of 17, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. I mean, this kid just, it's just there, right? It's like he's not in his second year, but he's a 10-year vet. Just playing unbelievably this year, super consistent, our best three-point shooter. I'm bringing up his season stats right now just to check it out. 47% from the field, almost 48% from the field, on 41.5% from beyond the arc. And he's upped his volume. He went from 3-point shots last year to 5 this year. And upping the volume and the percentage gets better. That's just a dream. And I hope the other foot doesn't drop. I hope this is like the new normal for Tristan da Silva, because for us to have a 41% shooter added on to Desmond Bane, added on to Jalen Suggs, these are our other shooters on this team. That means a lot for Franz and Paolo, who are not the greatest shooters, who operate in the painted area. So this is what we need to keep having. We need these type of players around our two cornerstones. And man, Tristan da Silva, like, what is this guy's ceiling? Let me know in the comments, second cousins. Like, if this is year 2, and what did he go? What was he averaging first year? First year he averaged 7 points in 22 minutes. This year, only 2 more minutes on average, 24 minutes. He's averaging 12 points. And I bet if I took his like last 5 games or something, it would be significantly higher than that, because he has just been playing like his hair's on fire all year. And I love it. The playing in Eurobasket with Franz and that German team just gave this guy so much swag. And he is just I'm magic for the future. We need this guy. It's great job, Weltman. Tip of the cap to you, sir. What is this guy's ceiling? Like, just tremendous. I joked a little bit. It's like, can this guy be an all-star caliber player? Is that a joke, though? I don't know. I mean, the thing is, on our team with Paolo healthy, does he have the minutes to really evolve into his final Pokemon form? You know, I don't know. Because we've got 2 great forwards ahead of him. So, but it's not absurd to play all 3 of those guys out on the floor at any time. I mean, Tristan da Silva and Franz can certainly guard 2s, maybe even 1s a lot of the time. I mean, you see Franz is just arguably our best defender and super slept on always on that side of the court. He'd better get an all defensive team, man. But it'll probably be Suggs again. Knock on wood. Suggs got to get those games. Franz got to get those games. But presuming they do, yeah, it's those guys can guard down. And, yeah, there's no problem seeing Tristan da Silva and Franz and even Paolo out there at the same time if that happens. So just shout out to you, Tristan da Silva. You're killing it. Let's see here. I must, second cousins, because I often... What's that? Oh my goodness. Yes, I hear you. I see you. Here he comes down to us. Jonathan Isaac finally showed up. I mean, he's had a really up and down year, hasn't he? And I have certainly been a critic of his in many ways and forms, but we got to give him some love. This is his best game, I think, for me, of the season. 16 points, 16 minutes. 16 points would have been awesome. 9 points, 4-4 from the field, hits his 3, 7 rebounds, an assist, 2 blocks, got 3 of those offensive rebounds and some putbacks, which was really, really nice to have. If he can do that, hey, this is a player that can be a part of the rotation on a playoff team. But there are nights, man, when he's looked near damn unplayable, and certainly not a piece on a playoff contending team. And so it's just good to see him getting back. I mean, he did have a full season last year, severely minutes restricted, and maybe that's just a new normal. He's 16 minutes a game guy. I think for me, you know, the expectation as J.I. was going through the whole recovery process for the past 25 years was that eventually he'd come back and be like a starting level type of dude, maybe a guy that's finishing the game at the 5 sometimes for us, because that's who he was before the injuries. And I think I'm just having to take a big dose of reality. What pill was that? Is it the red pill or the blue pill? Whichever one was reality, that's the one I'm having to take, because this is just Jonathan Isaac. He's not that guy anymore. and that's okay. Now he's just going to be a bench player, and he can be a very good bench player and a guy that can give us really good minutes in the playoffs, especially on the defensive side, hopefully. If he can add any offense, then that's a boon, right? We're pumped about that. So best JI game for me. Love what he did, especially the offensive rebounding. Now, granted, the backup bigs for the Clippers are not earth shatterers. Okay, we have Brook Lopez. Man, he got 6 minutes. He was looking like Robin Lopez out there. It's kind of over for Brook. And they played a lot of, who was this? This was, Yannick Conan Niederhauser was in there, and I don't even know who else there. Who was their other center? I don't know. Man, their second unit is rough. The Clippers are just not where they thought they'd be. And through this, I know CP3 has been an unlikable player at times, but he is the point guard, and he's had an amazing career, and I just couldn't help but feel for him in this game. You know, he chose to play with the Clippers, and I think part of that decision was this Clippers team could be good, because a lot of people thought that. A lot of pundits, they have a very veteran team. They were really good last year. I was in Orlando the second, Court Cousins night, and then the next game I always like to try to get to two. The second one we went to was Clippers against the Clippers, and the Clippers wiped the floor with us. Paul George was in there, granted, but man, I mean, that trade or not signing Norman Powell, was it a trade? Let me know in the comments. I don't know if that was a trade, it's even worse. But yeah, not getting Norman Powell, and Norman Powell being a real key piece on a pretty damn good Heat team right now, who's just sticking around. That looks horrendous. I mean, they miss that guy bad, especially with Paul George out. And this Clippers team does not look like they're even going to be sniffing the playoffs. I mean, where are they in the standings here? They are 12th, 4-11. Yuck. And it just, Chris Paul has announced he's going to retire, and this is the way you're going to go out. It just sucks, man. You're not even going to be in the playoffs. Ugh. That doesn't feel good to me. I don't know. I mean, again, not a huge Chris Paul fan, but fan of the game. And man, he was awesome for many, many years. And it just sucks that he's going out like that. Wouldn't it have been nice to have him hey, Chris, why didn't you choose the Magic, bro? You could have been Tyus Jones. You could have been doing that. That would have been nice, right? Having Chris Paul teaching AB some things, teaching Jalen Suggs some things. Who knows? All right, so now I do want to real quickly talk about, and I want your ideas on this, just some overall trends we got going on here, Second Cousins, because we saw in preseason it was a breakneck speed, breakneck pace, and when we started the season, that was getting a lot of concern from fans, from players. I mean, when Paolo Banchero was asked about it, he was like, yeah, man, I don't, very evasive, but you saw it in his body language that he felt like maybe this pace thing that the coach is trying to do isn't the greatest thing for us. And I think it's calmed down a little bit, right? Because last year, 30th in pace at 96.5 possessions, I believe. This year, maybe if you looked early in the season, it would have been crazier than this. But right now we're at 21st in the league. That's probably a good spot at 100.8. So we're looking at 4 more possessions per game. Not crazy, but we're definitely getting out a little bit more and running a little bit more. All right, so that is an indicator to keep an eye on. And is that the right place? Or do you think we need to go even faster? I think that's perfect for us, especially when Paolo comes back. That's good because we can grind teams. That's our MO. We grind teams on the defensive side, and we've got a guy in Paolo, 2 guys really, and Franz, who can beat you in the half court on any possession. So that's been great. But what is really tremendous, and we saw in full effect last night, is the fast break points. Big change there. Last year, 25th in the league at 13.8 fast break points a game. This year, we're second, 19.6. That is a 6-point difference. And man, I think I talked about Peach about how many games last year we lost by think it was 10 or under, and even 5 or under was a large number. I think it was over 10 games. So that right there is the difference potentially in close to 10 wins for us. So love to see that. Points in the paint, which I've always said we hang our hat on, right? We got to win the boards. We got to win points in the paint. 24th last year at 45.8. 13th this year so far at 51.6. So we're getting another 6 points there. So between the fast break points and more points in the paint, that's 12 points. That's a ton of wins, folks. That is a ton of wins for this team, especially if we can continue to be, a top defensive team. And the last thing that I know has been a big emphasis, we were a big deflections team, big turnover team last year, but we weren't always capitalizing. Last year on points off turnovers, we were 9th in the league, solid, at 19 points per game. But this year, this year we've taken a little step back. And that was kind of surprising to me, this statistic. We're 19th right now at 17.9. But last night seems indicative of how we want to play. Last night, folks, 33 points off of turnovers. So I think everything's kind of moving in that direction that we want to just ratchet up the intensity a little bit. Just ratchet up the pace a little bit, ratchet getting out in transition a little bit more, getting wide, getting to the hoop, putting the pressure on the other team's defense because we know we can put pressure on them on the defensive side of the ball. So now we're forcing other teams to really guard us and to have to run with us. And it's been a winning strategy. So here we are, folks, our Orlando Magic, right, in the play-in right now, 9th place, tied with the Hawks and the Bulls, although they have the tiebreakers on us, and only a game and a half out of second place on the Raptors. That's a surprise, isn't it? But how are we feeling now? We've stringing together some good games, starting to play like the Magic that we know. Hey, thanks as always for coming. It'd be a great birthday gift if you could subscribe. We're almost at 2,000. It would mean a lot to us. And as always, until next time, peace out, second cousins.